Yeah, this is not the stream to talk about that. Don't really care either. Anyway, okay, so when it comes to tag fighters, right? Post Marvel 3, if you are a Marvel vs. Capcom fan, there is no Marvel vs. Capcom 4. The DNA of this game is kind of being broken off, where no one game is going to inherit that specific style of gameplay. You're not going to get everything that you're looking for in one package. If you want that, you might as well just keep playing. You can keep playing Marvel 3. You can keep playing Marvel 2. There's still people playing them, you know? But if you want to play a new title or a new entry that is a tag fighter, if you're looking for a new entry that is going to scratch all the itches in the exact same way, that's not going to happen. I wanted DBFZ to be like Arxis design Marvel vs. Capcom 4, but it's not that. Or I wanted MVCI to be Marvel vs. Capcom 4, but it's not Marvel vs. Capcom 4, it's MVCI. You see what I'm saying? Now we have the new era. So you go from all of this to this. Whoop, too big. You go from all of that history, and now it's condensed into these 4. In this era, oh yeah, I forgot about this game. this game kind of, no? Okay, never mind. I'm sorry, never mind. It's kind of a tag game, right? It's kind of, anyway. These are 4 games that are the new offerings to this tag fighter kind of subgenre of fighting game, right? And a month ago, I would have told you, just because of the release date timing, I think it's going to be Nen Impact, a lot of old Marvel heads, DBFZ holdovers. Then everything changed in the past month when Invincible versus a Marvel Token got announced. Because now, all of a sudden, where you had this kind of clear line of succession, now it's like, well, shit. Now you actually have like a whole offering like on the table. Where do you go? It depends on what you want to eat. They're just gonna hot drop 4 tag games on us in like a 10-month period. Where do you go? How do you know what to do? So, with that in mind, I made this, and we're gonna fill it in. So there's 4 games down on the table now, right? So this is the way, this is just, what are my sources? My sources are I made it the fuck up. If there's any kind of question like that. This is simply based on reads. Marvel Token, right? Put that one right there. Put Hunter x Hunter right here. This is an aiding game. When you see aiding is a developer, what should immediately come to mind is a certain sensation. You have an expectation of this game is going to be broken as fuck. It's going to be nasty, but usually, and this is usually the case, usually, not always, but usually, fun. Where does the fun come from? They're fine with the games being Kuso for the sake of being Kuso, because they know that broken can be fun. What if they made? All you have to do is take a look, man. List of games developed as aiding. Bloody Roar 3. Tekken Advance, that's pretty funny. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Fate of Two Worlds. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. DNF Duel. Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact. Yeah, there's some bangers in there. And that's the thing, not even bangers in the most normal sense of like, oh, this is a really good game. Something that they consistently they have a pretty good track record of is the shit will be Kuso, but it'll be fun. So this is good and bad. This is depending on your perspective. Bushiroad is the publisher here. So Bushiroad is a pretty big company in Japan, and they're known for, in my mind, their card games. Their card game scene is really active, and they're like really at the forefront in terms of that. But they have their hands in a lot of stuff. When it comes to their games, they usually have, I think the mentality that they're trying to approach with is they want to get games done cheaply. Publisher, in some ways, is going to relate to, I'm going to put this under other note. I don't know what to, or maybe I do know. Competitive roadmap might be scuffed or extremely trim. What do I mean by that? I think in this modern era, I think it is really hard to have players play for a long time off of love of the game. I think you have to give players, there has to be some kind of carrot dangling on a string for them to really be pursuing. I do not have the expectation that this game that last year they didn't even know that they needed rollback for, that now they know they need rollback for, and they're making it. How well it's going to be implemented, we'll see. But I do not have the expectation that Bushiroad knows or gets the modern fighting game player mentality in terms of what they're looking for from a new fighting game experience, or how that contributes to community growth and development and proliferation. Additional content for the game, DLC. maybe it lines up with Evo's. Maybe it doesn't. Especially since it's based on a Hunter x Hunter IP. You might see it pop off at some stuff like at some other like trade shows and stuff like that. There's going to be weird stuff with it, you know, like that. I don't have the expectation of a Hunter x Hunter World Tour. Because I like Marvel vs. Capcom series. I like TVC. I like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. A lot of people are clowning Hunter x Hunter. Why is Hunter x Hunter thinks he's on the team? Can I say this? I'm just filling in this for y'all. This game is very fun. And one reason why is because Aiding basically said, hey, fuck it. What if we just put in every mechanic that we have in one game? This game is TV MVC3 with the Hunter x Hunter skin. It's very fun. Is it going to be incredibly solid? No. But it's very fun. That's the fun factor for me. Pretty much everything you're looking for if you're a former versus game player, it just hodgepodge throws it all into one game like that. So when I see people saying stuff like, Blood thinks he's on the team or whatever like that, I'm like, I don't think you really... Do you understand the appeal of this game? That is the appeal. The first month or so of tournaments that you see for that game are going to be very funny. It's going to be like... It's almost going to feel like 2011, 12 again in terms of like... You remember just watching like new Marvel 3 type shit? This is what makes one of the negatives that I have to say that much more painful. I don't think it has a lot of features. I've seen some of the single player stuff. It's not like there's animated shit or anything like that. It's very trim. Obviously, this game from jump was very low budget. And it feels like it's built from a lot of old assets. I do not know why they're selling this game at a premium cost. I do not... Like, that I have to put it... That's a note. The cost of this game is crazy. So the initial game, when I played it, it had static tag, which was where you had to select a character. That character would have an assist, and they would go off screen after. They swapped and changed it in between trial versions of the game to where now it has an active tag system. And in my opinion, I think this was a mistake. I think this is bad. And I'll tell you why. Because this is going to be a recurring theme on this list. When you end up being the same as all of your competition, that was a point where you could have been different. That was a point where you could have stood out. You could have offered something unique. Now, you're the same as the others. Scared to be too different, maybe? I just don't know who got in their ear and told them to do that. I just don't think that was a good idea. If you guys don't understand what we're talking about, when we talk about active tag versus static tag is when you pick a character in a selectable assist, or maybe they have a committed assist. A character comes out, does that attack as an assist, and then they leave. Active tag games allow you to call the assist and then tag in from that assist call. Constantly, because it's such a strong mechanic and it's something that you always have to be yielding to, it makes the neutral of the game, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, it's different, obviously, it's just a different kind of approach, but I think it ends up becoming kind of sloppy. You guys get at me in the comments if you disagree. I think active tag turns the shit into slop, personally. It just turns everything into a scramble. But it becomes way more frantic in a way that does not feel as good, in my personal opinion. I just don't like active tag. I don't like it. Hey, fuck it. You know what? Everything else I said, fuck it, man. Fuck you. I don't like active tag. And I don't like you either. Anyway, next, Invincible Versus. So this is developed by Skybound. Skybound is a new studio that was formed with a lot of remnants from, if I'm not mistaken, former Double Helix and KI development staff. The thing with this group is they have a sense of what players are expecting and what the community is expecting from a new game like this, right? The appeal. What I would say the appeal is, to me, the mechanics. KI-inspired mechanics. That was really, I think, what really stood out about the game is right away the mechanic design, but also, I would say even the movement. Felt good to move around in the game, surprisingly. Oh yeah, there's one more thing we gotta add too. This game, I'll tell you what pissed me off about this game. More than 6 buttons. And I don't like that one bit. I don't like that one bit. And I think this game also has that issue. Maybe. So I'll put it in the middle. This, to me, this is a big Majin Obama no-no. If you want to piss me off, make your game have more than 6 buttons. If I can't play it on this, that's a L. You missed the assignment. I'm not sure if Invincible Versus has more than 6. I got the feeling that 2 of the triggers that we had to use, because on pad we had to use all 8, right? But maybe those 2 were macros. Maybe not. We'll see. This game would let you tag during combos. It's like an adjusted active tag system is what I'll say. This game, because of the movement, because of the KI-inspired mechanics, I think it's going to speak specifically to you if you are a KI player. If you are in this Venn diagram of being like a tag team fighter fan and a KI player, this will be like you're in that Venn diagram. It's a very specific group, I think, if you're for fighting game players, right? This is aside from being just Invincible fans or whatever. But if you're in that group, this game will have an appeal for you. This is just my read. It probably ends up being fun because I like KI. You know, as somebody who like KI, I think a tag game with those kinds of playing with around those kinds of mechanics, I think is cool. Tokon is Sony Marvel with ASW as a publisher, as a developer rather. Tag system is active tag, but with like 40 frame startup. If you watch the video, because they do the soul transfer shit, there's like a screen freeze where you change characters. So maybe that works out in a way where it kind of tones down the chaos a little bit, makes it a little bit more digestible, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to say until we know more. Maybe they sense the same problem that I was describing, and that's just their problem solution for it. It's like, fuck it, give it a screen freeze so people can just look at the screen while it's happening and then make a call from there. What'll be more important maybe is putting your opponent in more fucked up situations. Rather than it being taking advantage of speed, it'll be about like, how can you make the situation fucked up? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's kind of like YRC in a way. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. But maybe that's okay. I'm not writing that off. As much as I love the Marvel presentation, as much as I love what some of they're doing in terms of like designs and stuff like that, my thing is the gameplay. And so far from what I've seen and what my expectations are, this is going to be like Strive Tag Fighter Z is what my expectation is. What I'm trying to say is they got to show me something. I don't know. This is just my read. It depends on what direction they go with it. If they go a little bit more, I think in their direction of the generation of games that I'm looking for them to go in, some elements of like air mobility and air movement in there too, where you can like cancel. If it still hits on some kind of gameplay like design like that versus tag strive fighters, that's the part that it's really I'm super cautiously optimistic about. The fucked up thing is though, I'm a fanboy, so I gotta be like, I'm hype. Especially if you show me some characters that I'm looking for, if you show me some moves that I'm looking for, I'm very easily, I'll eat that shit out the palm of your hand. But just because of my recent experiences with Arc System Works games, I have to be cautiously optimistic. 4v4 is fucking crazy, by the way. 4v4 team-based. Shit, I think that's it. That is the appeal. 4v4 is fucking crazy. Music, maybe? Music is a question mark. When it's good, it's good. For this, they're going to have to create their own. And the thing is, like, comparing it to the previous Marvel fighting games, they have a very high bar to cross. This is a company that can do it, but they can also give you the Strive OST. So, it's not just about the art and the aesthetic. You should expect stuff that really will speak to you on a fan level. This game is going to have, I think, a lot of opportunities to play it on big stages. So if that's something that you're looking for, I think that this game will satisfy that. You got to wait and see more, but it looks great. It looks fantastic. It's like I said, when you look at the table of these games, you have to look at each one and say, like, what makes this one stand out? The Marvel IP alone makes this one stand out. 4v4, that's something none of these other games are trying. And then you have it's probably got certainly it has the best presentation, I think, out of every game here. That's so far, this was, that first trailer did a lot. We saw Pachi as the battle designer. Pachi overall has, in my mind, a pretty good record in terms of games that he has managed. So like stuff like Grand Blue, Exert series, he was responsible for. Hopefully he can keep the record going. So that brings us to the game on this list that has had the longest time in the oven. In the past month, you doubled the offering in terms of the next year. Basically, all these games are coming out in the next 18 months. This subgenre it might even be worse than the previous generation, because at least then you had a gap between like DBFZ, BB Tag, Battle for the Grid, and MVCI, right? It felt like there were like 2 years and change between some of those releases. These are all going to be in the same 18 months. It's getting to the point now where you really, as a player, you got to really like make your picks. You don't have enough time to play them all. You know, not like how you want to. It's active tag, but it also depends on groove. Fun with social buffs. What do I mean by that? I think the game probably hits the hardest when you are 4 people in a Discord call all playing against each other. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. That to me is where you get the most fun factor with it. I can think of the times where I played it by myself, and I think about the times where I played it with other people. And the times where I played it with other people, that was a unique experience. And that's why I think that's the fun and that's the appeal. Yeah. So it's free to play, Runeterra, cinematic universe. That to me is the real appeal of this game. This game, no motion inputs. This game, no motion inputs. This game, motion inputs. This game, no motion inputs. That is an appeal point, right? At this point, wow. Now that I put it on the graph, that's crazy because now that's something unique about Tokon. Is that crazy? Yeah, okay. So back to this Riot game, Riot published. I would expect a strong competitive roadmap, or at least like a well-developed one. Characters? To me, this game does not pop until there are 30 characters in it. So my question is, I'd even lower it from 30. Let's say 20, 22 even, 20, 22, something like that. You got to think there's like 150 fucking characters in the RCU. The more characters they can get in this game, the better. Problem, this game is probably going to launch with like 10 characters. So my question is, how long is it going to take them to get 22 characters in the game? Can they do that in a year and a half? Is that fast enough? You get what I'm saying? Like, you guys agree? Disagree? I think it's going to take a long time for that game to cook. Yeah, and hopefully it'll speed up now. But I think now for them, looking at the lay of the land, that's a question that they have to have answers for themselves too, looking ahead. Because it's been in the oven longer than any of these other games. It's really just going to come down to like the people that are making them and who likes the games that those people make. If you like doing motion inputs, you only really have one option here. Anyway, I gotta go. But that was let me know what you guys think about this is the new offering of tag games. This is how they're different. This is how they're similar. When you put them all side by side like this, and you realize, it reaffirms what I was saying before, is like there is no Marvel vs. Capcom 4. You're not going to get that experience that you're looking for one-to-one. But maybe you can figure out certain things that you like about that series or another one, and you might be able to find a tag game that kind of scratches an itch in a way to where you might be interested in playing it. This is just what I thought about this. This is just a pre-read, Don't take the fun factor stuff too seriously. This is just my read, right? Based on what I played so far. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll holler at you guys later. Everybody be easy.